Welcome to the 9PL podcast, where we deep dive into the world of the Country Trucker Caps, Nines Premier League, and bring you the latest updates, insights, and discussions. Today, we are interviewing new team Matakesi with Conor, Hirini. Let's kick off the excitement. Man, thanks so much for jumping on.
Cheers, bro. Thanks for having me. Been watching all the build-up of the other teams and whatnot too. So, excited.
Tell us about Matakesi. Am I pronouncing that correctly as well?
Yeah, bro. Matakesi Rugby. So we're a invitational rugby sevens club out of New Zealand, out of Bay of Plenty, New Zealand is our base. Men's and women's, and pretty much, bro. Every summer we try and tour around New Zealand and tap into a few tournaments all up and down the country, and then more recently, or the last 3 or 4 years, we've been heading abroad and getting stuck in that way too. Yeah, so just try and get boys and girls from all over, like different parts of New Zealand, come together the night before a tournament or the week of a tournament and get stuck in. And yeah, that's pretty much it, bro. Go do it for the culture, really.
That's amazing. What's your role there?
So I founded the club alongside my wife back in 2020. Now I've taken on more of a director role. So I started off playing, um, but the game's way too fast and the teams are getting way too big. So just more of in a director role. I've coached a few times as well, but more managing and just facilitate that way and leave the actual on-field stuff to the other fellas and ladies that we've got running around in our colours. Yeah,
Yeah, it's unreal. I actually had seen you guys. I mean, the pastel pink and yellow jerseys are pretty famous, man. It's made its way over here clearly, and a lot of people in Australia. I mean, there's a lot of New Zealand and I suppose Pacifica community over in Oz. It's a pretty reputable brand and team that you've got, and obviously I was pestering you last year trying to get you guys over to have a run in
yeah,
this year's competition. And yeah, I'm stoked that we're in this position now to have you enter and have you part of it. I think you will certainly bring a huge audience to this space. However, I wanted to ask, what made you interested in entering a team other than me hammering you on the socials and saying you got to get over here and have a run?
yeah. Oh well, yeah. That was the main one, but just seeing. Well, first of all, so all the boys, well, majority of the boys at the club, like we all love the NRL, and everybody follows it religiously. No one plays though. Um, Yeah, no one plays, so that'll be interesting. But just and it's something different and exciting, bro. Like I've seen what you're building the last few years. Even having this time around on KO Sports and hopefully on Sky Sport in New Zealand. It's just exciting, bro, and just something like we haven't been a part of before too. So yeah, real pumped to get over and face Australian clubs and just get stuck in.
You must be excited to sort of give opportunity to some highly skillful rugby union sevens, boys and girls, I suppose, but boys this year. Hopefully, we can get you to enter an elite women's in 26. But giving back to your community, that must make it all worth it in the end of the day.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like we've had a few boys and girls, but yeah, we've had a few boys come through our club and get picked up to go on to higher honours that way, which has been pretty cool. And yeah, just giving the fellas an opportunity to play on like a big stage like that. Some of the boys that we're taking away will be, like jumping on a plane for the first time, and so that's going to be pretty cool. Hopefully they behave themselves, but yeah, yeah, we're pumped, bro. It's cool, yeah, and it's cool to see the excitement in the group and whatnot already. So yeah, stoked to have all the boys on board, and yeah, just even like our major sponsor, the Flying Mullet, just have that on the front of our jersey, take that away into another international tournament was always a real buzz for us too. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Exposure. Yeah, and I think for most of our teams, they're having a real crack at recruitment, which is going to be awesome for the opportunity that you're giving these players to come over and chance their hand. We're pumped to have you, but I'm really excited about asking you about your team. And before we dive into who to watch out for and who you've actually recruited. How do you recruit to actually be part of your community and be able to wear that pink and gold jersey?
Well, it started off like we had a core group of mates, and it kind of started off that you kind of had to be, not had to be, but it was kind of like a mate of a mate would come in, and then a mate of a mate would come in again, and it like just kind of happened that all the guys we were grabbing were all pretty decent at code, so it ended up that way, and now it's kind of it's become like it was pretty cool to see for us, like people want to come and play now, they want to take a bit of the pink and yellow kit home and represent Matakesi at a tournament or overseas. So we don't, we're never short of guys like reaching out wanting to play, but the main thing when we do pick a team is like you got to be a good fella, a good bloke. So that's kind of what we base ourselves on. We grab all boys that are good for the environment and pick the team that way. So like the culture side and the being a good bloke has always come first, and then the rugby's kind of come afterwards. And we've just been lucky we have had a lot of success on the field by doing it that way too. So now we won't be short of players to pick, but yeah, it's going to be a tough one picking the side for this year. I know a few boys are already like, no, I'm keen. They haven't even played for a few years too, so. Uh, that's been a bit of fun just picking the side with the other boys and whatnot. But yeah, no, that's generally how we go and do it. Yeah.
Well, hopefully that good bloke culture isn't tested too much here on the Gold Coast. You don't have to have a curfew for the boys coming over. Which,
It's tested every tournament, bro. So
yeah,
it's yeah.
well, you go to
It is,
Hong
it
Kong
is.
and everything like that as well, don't you? And
Yep, yep. So we Dubai, toured the UK, Fiji. So now we've been around the traps. And yeah, but haven't been to Australia yet for a tourney, which is the closest country. So yeah, that's really exciting, eh?
yeah, cool. Well, give us some, man. Tell us who you got. Like, I'm pumped to hear who you're bringing over, and are there some reputable names, young and old, that we can sort of highlight?
Yeah, so I'll go. We haven't finalised our roster yet. I'll tell you, we've got no league players, or we've got a couple of boys that have played a game of league before, but no league players as such. So that's going to be interesting. But an old head that's coming away with us. He's actually based over in Australia now, but his name's Matty Lansdowne. We call him Machu, so he's a bit of a vet
Yep.
in the side. So he played Māori All Blacks back in the day and Waikato veteran and things like that.
Way.
And he's always good for it. Yeah, so he'll actually be the captain of the side for the Gold Coast Nines, which is um, dangerous. But no, he'll be pumped. He'll be pumped, and he goes really well. So he'll be leading the boys. So he's more on the older side of the
Yep.
team. And then on the other side, we're bringing through a few young guns. And one of those young guns is young Micah Fale out of Waikato. He was the captain of New Zealand under-18 sevens
Holy.
the
Yeah,
last
right.
2 years.
Yep.
Yeah, so he goes pretty good, bro. Just a big, powerful, explosive. Well, he's a flanker in 15s in rugby union, but big, explosive ball runner. He's actually a bit like I'd compare him to a young Willie Mason, actually.
Oh,
So
no way.
yeah, so no, he goes pretty well, bro. So excited to get him involved and take him away with us here. And pumped to see the young fellas let loose.
Yeah, I bet. Any young flyers out in the edge or decent halves sort of thing that you could mention? Or you're still on the
Yep.
recruit?
No,
Right.
no. Well, one is he's Fletcher Carpenter. He's out of Otaki in New Zealand. He'd be 40, 50 something kg ringing wet, but yeah, he can shift, bro. So he's kind of like the young peak Benny Barber.
Yeah,
So
right.
peak Benny Barber plays a similar way, just excitement machine. So um, the drillman they call him. So Fletcher Carpenter, he's another one out the back. He'll go all right.
Yeah, okay. Well, the word's getting out that Benny's being recruited between a couple of teams, so hopefully we can get a photo with
Oh,
both.
really?
Yeah, yeah. He was meant to
Yeah,
play
yeah,
last year in Matty Bowen's side, but it got a cyclone over the top of Townsville, so they couldn't come down. But
yeah.
yeah, hopefully Benny and his younger brother Marmon are having a run. So with I suppose you're recruiting predominantly all rugby union players. A few of like they like the game. Are you keeping that Union Seven style? That's hard to try and defend.
Yeah, I'd say we will keep it, bro, because we won't come in and try and play how all these other teams play, because we won't know what we're doing. So I guess we'll try and try and keep to our wide kind of play. That's rugby sevens.
Awesome.
Avoid the contact type of play. My brother Luther Hirini, he'll be coaching the team on the day, so whatever he's got planned, he reckons maybe a few 40-20s out of dummy half if he was playing and stuff. But yeah, no, we definitely won't be. We'll be sticking to our strengths, bro, and that's keeping the ball alive and hopefully not get tackled.
Yeah, nice. I mean, and that's a very smart tactic. A lot of people think that you go back and playing, 13 or 15 in your language, where you're actually trying to get tackled, where it's like, nah, chance your hand and attack as much as you possibly can and try. Even in defense itself, like you don't have to wrestle as much as long as you lock a ball up. But if you're trying to hold them
Yeah,
down and wrestle, you're just going to gash yourself out. And yeah, depending on who you
yeah,
bring over, I'm sure they'll be very, very tricky to try and hold on to. But I suppose,
yeah.
what are you looking forward to mostly to come out of the tournament sides of things?
Uh, well, just over being over in the Goldie with the boys, any tour is always fun. Um, uh, with the smaller group as well. So especially we'll take it to the Goldie, and yeah, that's all fun times over there. But yeah, just going away. I think we fly out of Auckland on the Thursday morning, so we'll get Thursday morning training run. So that'll be our only training run as a rugby league team, which will be pretty crack up. And then probably a bit of a bonding session, captain's run Friday, and then get stuck in, and then we're off on the Monday. So short and sweet, but no, we pumped to get there, pumped to get stuck in and just see. I think a lot of the boys are excited to play against some of these other names. Like I saw, like Mitchell Pearson, Toddy Carney are both running round day, so
Yeah.
that's that'll be pretty cool for the fellas playing against some of the boys we grew up watching and over in
Yeah,
the NRL. So no, that's yeah, excited as.
that's great. Yeah, there's a few absolute Jets being named, and I'll let the teams do that, when we do the interviews with them. But I'm sure, yeah, you get a real kick out of coming over, and yeah, we're just super appreciative that you're considering coming over. Obviously, changing code, it's not too dissimilar to adding in just a couple extra players. It'll be interesting to see how you go with the contact and wrestle sides of things, but it's nothing that you aren't familiar with, and I think that you will bring an element of this game that we're trying to grow and get people to adopt, and no better than a team like yours. So we have been encouraging all of our teams to look into a charity partner and a not-for-profit. Do you have one at all that you are looking to, I suppose, contribute towards? We're certainly going to be contributing some of that prize money towards a not-for-profit for the winning side. Have you got one, and
Yep.
can you speak to it?
So the a charity or one of the charities we align ourselves with is the Heart Foundation. So we've done a bit of work with them last season. We actually haven't locked in to work with them again this coming season, but it's a charity that's pretty close to a lot of the players and just people around the club's personal lives. So most likely be looking to support them again. They do awesome work over here in New Zealand. So yeah, the Heart Foundation.
Yeah, that's wonderful, man. And any not-for-profit, that the teams are selecting is good because they have that intrinsic motivation to do it for something bigger than Matakesi as an example. But yeah, I'm sure they'll be greatly supported regardless. I suppose that's who you're looking to give back to. But who's helping you guys? Who are your sponsors? I know you had mentioned one before, but have you got some that you want to actually give a bit of a shout out to? So we're paying respect to them, given that they're giving you the opportunity to jump out on the field.
Yep, yep. So we've got our major sponsors have been with us for quite a few years now, and obviously we wouldn't be able to do what we do and go jump on a plane and travel New Zealand without them. So our major sponsor is the Flying Mullet Sports Bar in Papamoor. His name's Mark Grant out of the Flying Mullet. Top fella, always looks after the boys whenever we come in, and obviously sorts us out with the kit and just helps us get from A to B. So yeah, we wouldn't be able to do anything without Mark at the Flying Mullet for sure. And then our other major sponsors are we've got Barfoot and Thompson, Pikia, Reburger, AHS Group, and Wynnum Grain and Seed. So those are our major ones. And then actually to help us get on the plane and get over, all the boys have got an individual jersey sponsor on the back of their jerseys. How we always run things. So yeah, inundated with a lot of generous people that help us keep the club afloat.
That's awesome, man. And I think, yeah, you're doing great things, so people are attracted to wanting to support something that's so positive and it's fun, right? Like you would have started this whole thing because you enjoyed the sport, and that's what one of the great things is as part of sport is bringing people together, and also whether you're on the field or not, there's people who want to be attached to it, which is unbelievable, man. So well done, and we'll make sure that we clip it up and add all their logos, and you can use it and make sure you're giving them all the love they deserve as well. But I wanted to ask you, I'm not sure if you've seen the teams. I know you've sort of had a look here and there, but is there anyone who you're keen on playing or keen on not playing at all from the 16 that have made the list this year, or for next year, sorry?
Uh, yeah, so we've got our like bit of a group chat going with all the players and staff that are heading away so far. And I'll tell you the team that the fellas are not keen on playing is those Port Moresby boys. So uh, that's yeah, keep us away from them when you do the draw, please. And then team we are looking forward to playing. Like I said before, would be it was the RLPA team.
Oh, yeah, yep. Past players
Just
team.
yeah, just because yeah, all the ex-players played for them last year, eh? So that would be a pretty cool one for all the fellas and just play against them, and then no doubt a few photos afterwards because you saw all the boys ex-idols. So yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there'll be a sprinkle in, or there'll be a lot in the other teams as well. I know that United, who were Central Coast United, they were stacked up with about 8 or 9 ex-NRL boys. Alex Glenn with Legacy had a huge contingency of ex-Broncos, so they'll be red hot. And then there's a few other teams like active here locally. They're a gym ran by Joe Vickery and Anthony Bartolo. They'll have some ex-Titans running around for them as well. So there'll be a fair few there. Hopefully, you're focused on beating them and not just getting photos. But it's all
Yeah, I
about
was
the
going to say the
as
boys
well.
will just be buzzing out. So the boys will just be buzzing out, which will be yeah. Hopefully they stay locked in. But it's going to be yeah. Because yeah, being over New Zealand as well, like we don't see your local NRL player walk into the shop and whatnot. So the boys will be yeah pumped. It's
We
going to
have
be
got
good.
the Pig Athletic boys, and I know Sione and Freeney and the guys there. They're excited to have you. They obviously see you at some of the tournaments as well. Um, will you sort of buddy up next to those guys as well and form some sort of rugby union contingency?
Yeah, well, I was thinking that yeah, because it's going to be us against like us and Pig Athletic Club against the world, if you will, over there too. So no, no doubt it'll be some. Yeah, we'll link up somehow. We've actually grabbed a few. We've got a few Kiwi boys that are based over in Aussie that I saw they were thinking about grabbing for their team, but hopefully they're all good about that because they've got plenty to pick from over there, over in the Queensland competition. They should be okay, but yeah, nah, we'll definitely look to link up with those boys. I love what they do on the social media and stuff. It's, especially on the women's side with them, actually, women's side of rugby union. It's cool as to see.
Yeah, yeah, they're really driving that part of the game, which is awesome because the women, certainly need to be included in all this as well. We're aiming for 4 elite women's teams as well. We're in the process of onboarding a few. We just want to make sure that they're at the right level because this competition itself is going to be pretty top tier. But I suppose speaking on that, are there any current international rugby players that you would want in your team? Give me two.
Rugby union or rugby league?
Rugby union.
I'll go one of each. I'll go one of each. I'll go one of each.
Yeah, sweet.
Rugby union. Rugby union. Uh, someone like oh, Damien McKenzie, the first fight for the All Blacks,
Yeah,
he'd be pretty sharp at times, I reckon, and nippy as so, and he'd be good for it too. So Damien McKenzie for sure, and rugby league. Oh, you couldn't go past Kalen Ponga, I reckon.
yeah,
He'd
yeah. A
rip
few
up
boys have named
and
him.
cut things around. Oh yeah, yeah, true. Yeah, he'd be gun. He'd be gun.
Yeah, he's a jet, absolute jet. I'm looking forward to seeing how Newcastle go and if they end up in that top eight. And he's a big game player, so I don't know. In about a decade's time, maybe you can don the pink and yellow jersey, man. We'll send a little shout out to him nice and
Yeah.
early and play the long game when he retires, and he can have a run around with his. But is there anything further that you're looking to get out of the competition itself?
I mean, nah, just give these boys, some of these young fellas that are, and the older boys, but some of these young fellas that are coming away, some good exposure, which is what we're all about. We like trying to give everybody that plays for Matakesi an opportunity to get noticed and hopefully further their athletic careers. So that'll be pretty cool to see. Just yeah, something happen in that respect. But just yeah, trying something new and being on the Goldie for a few days, that would probably be the highlight, eh?
Yeah, I probably would want to ask as well. Like, given that you're giving some of these young fellas an opportunity, are there any current players, men and women, that are playing at a top level that have had a run with this that you've, I suppose, yeah, had around and worn the jersey?
Yeah, we've got quite a few in the New Zealand Seven setup, boys and girls that have come through our ranks, or just played for us and then gone on for big things. But our main man is uh, Leroy Carter, or Bumpfa, as he's
Yeah,
known as. So he's just signed a big deal with the Chiefs as well. Come out of New
yeah,
Zealand Sevens, now he's down with the Chiefs. So yeah, he's our boy. We love supporting him and seeing what he's doing. So, bro, he would actually rip up the NRL if I'm honest. I
yeah.
reckon.
Right.
Tell you, yeah, he'd go mean right out of dummy half, and he's so confrontational too. So just let him go ahead, go
He's
for it. Yeah.
sharp.
So hence the name. Yeah, he's really sharp, bro. He's and a great bloke too. Like just a top man off the field. So him and Leroy Carter and Cole Forbes that runs around for the Blues, the
Yeah.
Auckland Blues. Those
Wow.
couple of the boys that are at the pinnacle that have played for us. Yeah, so it's always cool to see the boys you know and your mates doing well, eh? So, and we got a few of the ladies that have come through now won a gold medal recently. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's cool. It's really cool to see, eh? Love it.
That's unreal. There's a lot of people out there trying to do what you're doing, and we love to see all the success. Clearly, it's coming, through the social media channels. But we're pumped personally. I'm pumped to have you on. We're really excited about getting you over here, and yeah, we'll make sure that we do an update in a couple of months' time prior to Chrissy to see where you're at with if you've just snuck in a training session and done any league at this stage, or your brother's done some kicking coaching out of 40-20s. We'll see how we'll see where we're
Yeah.
at, and we'll touch base on it, man. And thanks so much for your time, bro, and we really appreciate it.
Cheers, Ant. Pumped there. So yeah, can't wait. Thanks for having me as well.